Welcome back. We need to talk about Jurassic Joe Biden. He addressed the American nation last night, allegedly from the Oval Office. Some people think it was pre-recorded. He was slathered in this ridiculous orange fake tan, trying to make him look healthy as opposed to dead, which is what he really looks like. So let's welcome Laurie Laird, US political commentator. She's breaking off from a holiday to do this. Don't you know, Laurie, there's no such thing as a holiday for an American political commentator, particularly now.
Honestly. And Kevin, just for you, my friend, just for you.
Thank you very much. Now, bear with us through this because I want to play some clips while we talk. So first off, let's remind ourselves of some of Joe Biden's address to the American nation last night.
When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country, is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause cherish it so much. A cause of American democracy itself must unite to protect it.
Laurie, it's painful to watch, isn't it? Now, he's talking about, I promised to level with you, I promised to tell you the truth. Honesty is so important. He hasn't been honest to us for 4 years. He certainly hasn't been honest with us for the last couple of years during this alarming physical and mental decline, nor have the people around him. He goes on to say, or he went on to say, that his achievements, can you list them? I think I've got a spare nanosecond. Meant that he did warrant a second term as president. They don't, and he had no right to say that. He could not possibly have done a second term in office, could he?
No, I mean, absolutely. And you know, the weird thing is all of this, okay, I'm going to stay in, I'm going to stay in. Remember, he was insistent that he was going nowhere a week ago.
Yeah, good point.
And so many of the Democrats who finally sort of joined the chorus to say, Joe, out of here, mate, you got to get going, are now applauding him as a hero who could save democracy. And the almost hypocrisy of the Democrats is quite remarkable. And I think the other thing is the Democrats have been complaining for years that Donald Trump has taken over the Republican Party, and that's true. But we're now learning that there's a coterie of people who've taken over the Democratic Party. Democrats were too scared to come forward until George Clooney made the first step with that op-ed he wrote in the New York Times.
Absolutely. Now, as I say, it's just outrageous, I think. The Democrats, this is not a party political broadcast, but the Democrats and Joe Biden for at least 2 years have been lying to the American nation. I think the people should be furious about what they had to put up with last night. You know, as I said yesterday, he's working on his big farewell Washington speech. He's going to list all his achievements. The speech is expected to last about 30 seconds.
Oh, come on.
All right, 45.
Look, I would say that Joe Biden has been a consequential president in terms of the legislations he's passed. And a lot of the things he campaigned on, an infrastructure bill, stimulus right after he took office when the country was still recovering from COVID. I don't agree with, as an economist, I don't agree with these policies. But you do have to give the man some respect for getting these policies through and in hospital to Congress. They may not have been the right policies, but he managed to get a lot of stuff through, and it was the right time to take a bow.
I mean, I'll reluctantly accept that, but what I would say is, whose policies were they really? Were they his, or were they the coterie that has clearly been governing America for the past couple of years at least, and will continue to do so until November the 5th, which is another issue. This guy should not be president even for the next few months.
That's an interesting question, and I agree with you. We now know that there isn't clarity on exactly who was making policy, and I think the frustrating thing is so many people knew that he was infirm. I mean, George Clooney a couple of weeks ago held that massive fundraiser, right? He raised $30 million. And then George Clooney, in that op-ed that I mentioned, said Joe Biden's not the guy he was in 2010. Wait a second. So you kept it a secret until we all found out about it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is objectionable.
And it was collective elder abuse. I mean, you know, I don't hold any I don't hold any candle for Joe Biden. I think Joe Biden's a peculiarly unlikable person. There doesn't seem to be any humanity about him, but that's a different issue.
I think it's he's had too much Botox, Kevin, and his face doesn't move. I'm serious about that.
Could well be, but last night, I mean, as I say, collective elder abuse. That poor guy, I felt a bit sorry for him last night. Utterly humiliated, forced out of office, saying, I made the decision for the sake of the country. No, no, no. They said, get the hell out of here, you senile old git. This is over. This is over. Now,
what do you really think there, Kevin?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to be unfair to senile people, but he is senile. Now, meanwhile, in Carolina, this was going on. Donald Trump, whatever you think about Donald Trump, boy, oh boy, can he entertain a crowd. I watched it live last night. I don't know why this made me laugh, but he was in, I think it was North Carolina. Here he is talking about Carolina.
And she happened to name her one beautiful daughter, you know what? Carolina. Carolina. I said, which one? Which Carolina? She said, well, North, of course. No.
Carolina. I mean,
that's the same way he said China. Remember the China flu?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where he gets. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it's something. He's a comedian, isn't he?
He's a crowd pleaser. And again, whatever you think of him, he has charisma. It's a weird charisma. It's not necessarily a positive charisma, but he has something. He can connect with people. He can campaign. And this is going to show up much more starkly as this campaign goes on, because Kamala Harris, whatever you think of her, we know she's not a very strong campaigner. You almost forget that she was a contender in 2020 for the presidential campaign. She didn't even get to the primaries, right?
Yeah.
We know that this is not, she may be an effective president, we don't know, but she's not a campaigner, and the difference between the two of them will become very stark very soon.
I agree, and she's already looking like a lightweight. Well, I'll tell you what she exudes. She exudes a kind of ecstasy. She cannot believe her luck. This time last week,
she does look very happy.
Yeah, well, this time last week, she was, the worst vice president in American history. Now, apparently, she's the greatest presidential prospect the United States has ever seen. She cannot believe her luck, and well, she might not, but let's get to the nitty-gritty of Donald Trump's speech at the rally in North Carolina yesterday. Let's hear what he had to say about his new rival on the presidential trail.
If Kamala Harris gets in, she would be the most radical far-left extremist ever to occupy the White House ×10. There's never been a lunatic like this in the White House, and we've had some bad ones. So now we have a new victim to defeat. Lion Kamala Harris, Lion, L-Y-I-N apostrophe. The most incompetent and far-left vice president in American history. Kamala will lie to you so brazenly about Joe Biden's mental incapacity, then she will lie to you about anything. She can never, ever be trusted. She can't be trusted. And just like crooked Joe Biden, Kamala Harris is unfit to lead. She's unfit to lead. She'll destroy our country in a year.
Now, just before you go, Laurie, he's citing the fact that Kamala Harris was part of the coterie that deceived the American people. I think that's a fair deduction to make. But all of the stuff...
I don't agree with that, actually. Well, I think that she was very far away from that decision-making process.
OK, well, we'll give her that. But what about the rest of what he was saying? The rest of what he was saying, far-left lunatic, that is going to hit home on the trail, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the thing is that she will kind of bounce back with Donald Trump isn't fit to be president. Look, he's not a nice guy. January 6th, 2021. The problem is the Democrats can't do the personal stuff as well as Donald Trump can. They cannot beat him at this game. They will try and do it, and it won't work. Look, Joe Biden, in the eyes of the public, there's some responsibility for the assassination attempt. Dems can't do it the way the Republicans do. And to try and get personal is not going to win it for them.
No, it's going to be a fascinating few months, but I think Donald Trump proving he's far, far superior at campaigning to Kamala Harris, who just can't stop this laughing hyena stuff. I mean, I've been watching her. She's so irritating. Stop laughing all the time. But I suppose she's so thrilled to be in the position she's in, which she cannot believe. But nor can the rest of us. Laurie, thank you for breaking off from your vacation. I see you've lived in this country too long. You call it a holiday now, don't you? And that was really great stuff. So thank you so much.
I'll talk to you soon.
That's Laurie Laird, US political commentator.